Formal written method of multiplication to multiply 2 digits by 2 digits as well. So if we do a quick recap as to what we did before in the window method, so we had times here, so we split up our number 40 and a 5 times 20 and a 3. So I'll start with my units because they're nice and easy. 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 40 is 120. I have my placeholder, remember. 20 times 5, again, placeholder. 25 is 100. Whoop. And then 2 tens times 4 tens. We're going to have 0, 0, and 8 tens is 800. Or 80 tens is 800. Perfect. Okay, so when I add all this together, 800 plus 100 is 900, 1020, 1035. So, oops, sorry. We have 1035 here. Now, as you can see, I've got 2 digits on the bottom instead of 1 digit, so it's going to get a little bit more complicated. Not much more, but a little bit more complicated. So I'm just going to ignore my 2 tens for right now, and I'm going to focus on my 3 units. So 3 units times 5 units is 15. Again, the same thing happens before. I can't keep the 10 in the tens column here. I have to pop it up the top of the tens column and add it on later. Okay, so 3 times 4 tens is 12 tens, plus another 10 that's extra is 13 tens. So I'll pop my 13 tens here. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky. I'm going to ignore my 3 units now, and I'm going to move to my 2 tens. But my 2 tens, I'm never going to have anything in the units column. Because when I multiply everything by 2 tens, look at here, nothing in the units column, nothing in the units column, because there's no units here. Everything is going to be at least in the tens column. So what I do is I'm going to put a 0 or an X here. I'm going to put an X just to help us. Okay, I put an X in the units column when I'm multiplying by my tens column because there's never going to be any units. All right, so I'm going to focus on my tens column, but remember I added this one up the top before. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to rub it out or scribble it out, was what you'd probably do in your jotter, to show that I'm not paying attention to that one anymore because I might need to add something else on after. All right, so 2 tens times 5 is 10 tens. So again, I would put my 10 tens like this, but the same rules apply. I cannot do that. I have to carry it to my tens column. So then I have to add it onto the top here to add on after. 2 tens. Did I do some adding wrong before? I might have done. No, 2 tens times 4 tens is going to be 8, and I'm going to add on this extra 10 at the top, which is 9. So I put my 9 tens here. Now, what I do now is I turn this into an adding calculation. I add this top, the ones I got from multiplying by my units, and I add them to my tens. So what you've done essentially is what we're doing is we split up, these two things are separate. So when I multiplied everything by 3, I was using these 2 boxes. Okay, so because I did 3 times 5 and 3 times 40, which is what I did here, 3 times 5 and 3 times 40. This row here is actually these 2 boxes, as I did 20 times 5 and 20 times 40. And that's what this row is. So that row is those 2 boxes from my window, and this row is these 2 boxes from my window. And all I'm doing is I'm just adding them together. So when I add them together, I have 5 in my units column, 3 in my tens column, and then 1 plus 9 is 10, so 10 tens is 1,000, and again I have 1,035. Okay, let's try another example. This time I'm going to do 72 times 38, so I'm just going to show you the window method first. You do not have to do both when you're doing this. It's just to show you that they are, in fact, related. So, 8 times 2, 16. 8 times 70, I have my placeholder, and 8 times 8 times 7 tens is 56 tens, which is 560. 30 times 2, that's a nice doubling one, 60. And then 30 times 7 tens is going to be 2,100. All right. If I added all those together, I'd end up with 2,600. What kind of tens am I working with here? 6 and 6. Oopsies. Should have started with my units. No. So I've got 6 units, tens. I've got 6 tens, another 6 tens, 12 tens. No, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so about 2,726. All right, let's check with our formal written method. So we'll start with, remember, we are just going to ignore the 3 tens for now and just focus on these 8 units and multiply the 8 units times 72, which is what we did in the window method as well. So what we're doing right now is we're just focusing on 8 times 72. So if I've got, oopsies, 8 times 2 here, I've got 16. I can put my 6 units. I carry my 110. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 1 is 57. So I have 576. And if I looked here, I would have 560 plus 16 is 576. So far I'm on the right track. Okay, remember again that the next time, when we go to the three tens here, I'm never going to have any units because 3 tens times anything is going to be at least 3 tens. So, and we won't have any units. So now what we're doing is we're multiplying 30 times 72, which is these 2 boxes here in our window calculation. So we'll go back here. We don't have any units. Remember, we're going to scribble out this one at the top just in case we need to carry something in this section. So 30 times 2 is 60. So we put our 6 here. I don't need to carry anything because it was just a straight 60. And then 3 tens times 7 tens is going to be 21 tens, which is, 30 times 70 is going to be 2,100. And then we're going to add these 2 together. Oh, didn't mean for that to be orange. Oh well. Then we're going to add these 2 together. So we've got 6 plus nothing in these units columns. We're going to have 6 units. 7 plus 6 is 13. Oh, I've done a miscalculation somewhere. 7 plus 6 is 13. So I'll carry this up to the top. 5, 6, 7. And then R2. Now, I have different answers here. As you can see, I've got 2,736, 2,726. So let's see where I've miscalculated, and I suspect it's over here. Let's see. I have 6 tens, 1 10, and 6 tens, and 6 and 6 and 1 together is actually 13. So it was here. And you know what, boys and girls? It's okay to make mistakes because I just made one. All right, so this is actually meant to be 2,736. So that was my adding mistake. There we go. But we get the same answer. So what we're doing with the formal written method is we are just taking our window method in 2 separate steps and adding and multiplying together as we go.